It's December 1st. The year is starting to wrap up, and oftentimes this is where we're reflecting, how did the year go and what are we planning for the next year? And I want to talk about endings today. Many of us have not been trained to do endings well. We're constantly moving on to the next thing. We're already thinking further ahead, and we don't bring to completion what we've accomplished or where we're at now. Over the next couple of weeks, I have a special masterclass happening called Wrap Up and Launch. And what we're going to be doing in these 2 weeks is being very, very intentional about how do you wrap up 2021. Reflecting on the wins, reflecting on the lessons, some of the failures, allowing us to wrap up 2021 in a very intentional and ceremonial way. And then how do we launch into 2022 with intention, with purpose, setting ourselves up for success? If that sounds like something you would benefit from, wrapping up 2021, launching into 2022, make sure that you sign up for that free masterclass that's starting next week. Last week, I took a group of heart-centered entrepreneurs to Jasper Park Lodge in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. And we took the time to reflect on a year and also plan the calendar for 2022, work on visions and goals and strategies, and setting ourselves up for success. Doing endings well is a really powerful skill set that we can learn. As you're moving towards your goals, as you're creating visions and new results, there's going to be endings that occur. Endings of relationships, endings of jobs, endings of patterns or habits. And oftentimes what happens when we're ready to transition into something new, there's a part of us that feels like we have to justify why we're doing that. And in that justification, oftentimes what we do is we make where we're coming from wrong. We point blame and we list all the things that were wrong with what we're leaving. Everything that was wrong with that relationship, everything we didn't like about that job or that career. We can get into this place where we really start to build some negative energy about what we're leaving behind in order to make us feel better about going into the next thing and growing into that next thing. What I'm going to invite you into today is to recognize that your growth doesn't have to happen because something's wrong or something's bad. To be able to look at the experience, the education, the relationship, the job that you're currently in or that you're leaving behind as a beautiful stepping stone that's taking you into the next thing. What if you could love where you're coming from while you're growing into the next thing? And as you do that, what you'll find is that those transition periods, they feel better. They're more alive making. We don't get caught up in all of that negativity. Because when we get caught up in that negativity, we tend to bring that energy into the next thing. The other place this awareness can be really, really helpful is when you have people in your life and they're the ones that are having that ending with you. Maybe they're leaving your place of employment or they're a coworker and they're moving on. And you notice that they start to get negative. They start to make you wrong or that place of work wrong. And I think it can help us be more compassionate that, you know what, some people just don't do endings well. And they tend to create chaos or unhappiness where they are in order to make themselves feel better about moving on to the next thing. And by having that awareness, that helps us to have compassion for the people in our lives. So are you somebody that does endings well? Do you have an ability to maybe improve in that way? As we bring 2021 into an ending, let's do that ending well. Let's wrap it up intentionally. Let's put a bow on it so that you're ready to bring your best self as you launch into 2022. So join me for this free masterclass. It is going to be fun. It's going to be powerful, and it will really set you up for success going into 2022. Here is to you living a life you love.